What can curry teach us about a magical girl show? More than you think, actually. Hi, my name is Ayumi. I am the #1 PreCure fan in the world. We are a little bit more than a week away from the premiere of Star Detective PreCure. I want to talk about the speculations and things that we can make based on merchandising generally, but especially based on the curry. PreCure, of course, this is the #1 magical girl show for little girls, right? Ages 3 to 6 is the target audience. It is, in a way, a giant commercial, right? So it's advertising the toys you want to get for the series. But for everyday use, there's all kinds of other things as well. For example, we famously have the Pretty Life series, so you can get shampoo and toothpaste and so on for PreCure every year. I'm sure everyone watching has seen that with a kids show in their lifetime. The curry in particular is one of the interesting pieces of merchandising for the packaging specifically. This is the kind of thing that only gets 2 rounds of packaging. So for example, here is the original Wonderful PreCure curry, and then here's the second round of the Wonderful PreCure curry. Even though the initial press release for Wonderful PreCure did include Cure Nyami and Cure Lillian, we didn't see them join the team until later, and so that's why they're part of the second round of curries. So for here, we can see on the curry for Star Detective PreCure, we have, of course, our Fairy Pochtan. We have Cure Answer, our purple Cure, and Cure Mystique, our pink Cure. They seem to be thinking, which is very rare and exciting. We already know there's going to be at least 2 more cures, right? In the initial press releases, etc., we got the announcement of Cure Eclair and Cure Arcana Shadow. Despite that, they're not here, which means we can expect they won't join the team right away. Now, here's the important thing to note, that's the English term for characters that appear later in this season. The common term used, if you're not borrowing Six Ranger from the Sentai fandom, is mid-season cure. You might understand why it's used. This nomenclature does cause some confusion and some expectations that are not accurate to how PreCure works, because in Japanese, we don't have the exact same term. Whether we're talking about Sentai or Kamen Rider or any other show that has heroes like this, the term is Tsuika Senshi, which means additional soldier. Now, does the fact that we only have 2 cures here mean that we're only going to get 2 more cures later? Not necessarily. We might have a Soaring Sky PreCure situation this year. In Soaring Sky PreCure's case, we had a lot of stuff starting with Cure Sky and Cure Prism, and then because Cure Wing and Cure Butterfly joined a little bit later, they were kind of like mid-season cures, but not exactly. And then we get a proper surprise mid-season cure later, or Tsuka Senshi later. Leaks could tell us that she was coming. As far as the official marketing went, we did not know about her until far later in the season. And so, of course, that means the season ended with 5 cures on the team. Some people think extremely likely that we're going to end up with 5. There are several instances where we see 5 colors used in the marketing for the season, not in the logo itself, because again, the logo does not always dictate colors, in things like the use of the 5 colors in Kyoto or Curate, right? There's one more thing we need to look at. If you go to the character pages on the official website for Star Detective PreCure, we can see 4 spaces for 4 cures. This makes sense because we have Cure Answer, Cure Mystique, Cure Eclair, and Cure Arcana Shadow. By the way, just as an aside, because I keep seeing this happen a lot, Cure Eclair, her name is not a reference to the dessert, okay? That's ekurea in Japanese. This is ekureru. This is a reference to a different French word, which is very related to solving crimes and things, right? There's a sense of enlightenment, etc. So it makes perfect sense. There's a kind of almost a light and shadow thing going on with the last 2. So my personal prediction is that Eclair and Arcana Shadow are going to be a bit of a duo, not in the same way that Answer and Mystique are, but I also think that Answer and Mystique are a duo in a way because Answer is out of time. Because Arcana Shadow's civilian name is Moria Luluka, and is a reference to Moriarty, I'm super convinced that Cure Claire's civilian name is going to be a reference to Sherlock Holmes in some way. It might even be as simple as the word for home being in her surname, because in Japanese, Holmes and Holmes sounds exactly the same and it's pronounced identically. Anyways, so not super important right now. We'll find out this information down the line whenever, but the order is always intentional here, and so we can assume that Clear will join the Detective Precure team before Arcana Shadow. The question of is there going to be a fifth cure? I'd like to talk about that at another time because there's already a character a lot of people are assuming is going to become a cure, so we can talk about that another time. Anyway, that's all the rambling I wanted to share for today. Let me know your thoughts. What are your theories? Star Detective Precure is coming so soon, and I'm so excited. Of course, getting emotionally ready for the end of You and Idol Precure this weekend as well. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You should be following me if you want all the Magical Girl news. Let's chat about Precure, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!